The Disability Discrimination Act 1992 and the Disability Standards for Education seek to eliminate, as far as possible, discrimination against people with disabilities. For the purposes of the DDA, disability is defined more broadly than the Queensland EAP verification categories. It also covers some disabilities which may not meet criteria for resourcing support. For example, learning disorders such as dyslexia, epilepsy, ADHD, and temporary disabilities as a result of an accident or illness. We have seen from the introductory video that the Disability Standards for Education provide a framework to ensure that students with disability are able to access and participate in education on the same basis as other students. By complying with these standards, our staff personally ensure that they and Brisbane Catholic Education have met our obligations under state and federal legislation. The standards cover the following areas: enrolment, participation, curriculum development, accreditation and delivery, student support services, and elimination of harassment and victimisation. This video will focus on the area of enrolment of students with disability. Brisbane Catholic Education is committed to a process which ensures all families seeking enrolment at a Catholic school feel included and respected. Brisbane Catholic Education provides key documents to support this process. To assist staff in understanding their roles and responsibilities in regard to these standards, we have engaged the services of Dr. Elizabeth Dixon, Senior Lecturer in the Faculty of Law at Queensland University of Technology.
It is essential to approach the enrolment process without bias and with a willingness to investigate options for every student. Enrolment on the same basis does not always mean that students with disability are to be treated in exactly the same manner as students without disability. Adjustments to regular processes may be needed so that there is equality of opportunity. Adjustments may need to be made to usual processes in the management of the enrolment process itself. This includes enrolment information, application forms and interviews. Schools should provide a variety of ways to access enrolment materials and information about courses and programs. Enrolment procedures should be designed so that they can be completed without undue difficulty. School staff should be available to explain enrolment procedures and even to assist with the completion of enrolment forms if needed. The management of a waiting list is one area where all students should be treated in exactly the same way. Neither of the following should occur: the establishment of a separate waiting list for students with disability, nor the imposition of a quota on the number of students with disability that a school will enrol. Each of these approaches to enrolment management is potentially direct discrimination and unlawful. Families should always be encouraged to disclose a student's disability. This ensures that reasonable adjustments can be determined to support the student. The best time for this is at the time of application for enrolment. It is acceptable for application forms to invite disclosure of disability. However, to cancel enrolment based upon lack of disclosure is potentially unlawful. If, during the enrolment process, the student's disability is not disclosed, as soon as the school has knowledge of the disability, it is obliged to investigate what reasonable adjustments are necessary and appropriate to support the student. The standards mandate ongoing consultation between all parties. Important consultations will occur throughout the enrolment process. Brisbane Catholic Education provides documentation which gives information on the stages of enrolment and templates that can be used in the ongoing consultation process. Consultation during the enrolment process should consider: what is the impact of the disability for the student? What are the adjustments that need to be made? Are these adjustments reasonable within the context of this school? As part of the enrolment process, it is appropriate to request documentation relevant to the disability. This could be gathered from the student's current educational provider or specialists and professionals currently working with the student. It is imperative that good records are kept of each consultation, including detail of the adjustments to be put in place to support the student. While the student and the student's associates are consulted and encouraged to express their views, the school makes the final decision about what adjustments will be made, taking into account resourcing and ramifications for the wider school community. Once the decision regarding the enrolment has been made, it should be communicated promptly to the student and the student's associates. As consultation is an essential aspect of supporting students with disability, more detailed information is provided in a separate video. Sometimes, after consultation and investigation, the school may determine that an enrolment offer cannot be made. This decision is supported by the standards, which recognise that only reasonable adjustments must be made. Sometimes, there will be no reasonable adjustments that can be made to support the enrolment of a student with a disability. The standards also recognise that even a reasonable adjustment might cause unjustifiable hardship to a school. And if this is the case, the adjustment does not have to be made. There are two occasions when it may be necessary to reconsider the continuation of an enrolment. The first arises if a school has evidence that the reasonable adjustments which have been made have not been successful in meeting the student's needs, and no alternative reasonable adjustments are possible. The second arises if the continued enrolment can be shown to cause unjustifiable hardship. Case examples and scenarios illustrating situations when an enrolment may be lawfully terminated are included in the support material. Decisions about the offering and continuation of enrolments are informed by complex considerations. In some cases, it may be necessary to seek legal advice about what course of action should be taken.
All schools have an obligation to ensure the ongoing review of enrolment policies and practices and to communicate these to the school community and beyond. Further information and supporting documentation are available on the Learning and Teaching portal.